Welcome to the Hall of Fame Club podcast, now with Season 2 flavoring. Still your local source for the 2025 Philly season. And now your hosts, Chris, JV, and Keith.
Good evening. It's March 6th, 2025. And you know what that means. It's baseball season again. Welcome to Season 2 of the Hall of Fame Club podcast, powered by the Broken Bell Network. Tonight, we throw out the first pitch on the 2025 season. We're going to project the batting order. Keith is going to convince us that we need a six-man rotation. And the hot stove rumors of March. So get your Cracker Jacks ready, find your sunscreen, pop that first $12 beer, and buckle up for the marathon that is the Major League Baseball season. Gentlemen, are you excited? We're 20 days away from opening day.
Crack it. Yeah. First beer of the MLB season.
$17.99 for a 15-pack.
Right, I'm saying I'm pretty sure that's not a $12 beer.
No, is that the line pack?
Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk this summer. This stuff goes down so good. Like when we were over Susie's house on Saturday, I had like 6 beers in like an hour and 10 minutes, and it was.
Yeah, it's word on the street is, and I need to grab some. The word on the street that the lime is tremendous.
Don't get the silver.
He's forgetting the best part about that story. All those beers, and he didn't break any
chairs. I heard you let them down. That should have been a. For those listening, my man has decimated his sister's house of chairs. At least 3 that I can count.
One, and Jeremy's wife decimated the game of categories.
Yeah,
she did.
That's
a whole other story.
I heard letters are hard. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Green Gables, Gan of Green Gables.
Hold on. The letter was A.
Yeah.
The letter was A.
But she wrote Gan of Green Gables.
No, she thought the letter was G.
Uh-huh.
She wrote Green Gables of Anne. What?
Well, I heard it was Gan of Green Gables.
Oh, it was.
Doesn't matter. What is, boys? How are you? You feeling the buzz? You're feeling this, right?
This is my season. Like some people get geeked up over the Christmas season. Some people are. I don't know what other seasons you can be. Skiing season, whatever. That baseball is mine. Like this is what I live for.
I'll get geeked up when I get the alert from T-Mobile on T-Mobile Tuesday that the MLB sign up and get it for free.
Free. Yeah, that's been going on for
at least
10 years.
I don't know how long T-Mobile's Tuesday has been around, but at least 5 because that's how. However, I think the first time I really used it, I think the kid from San Diego was throwing a no-hitter, and I watched it.
Listen, I wanted to, before we kind of get on with the show, I kind of wanted to bring it. You saw the new intro. We're in our second season. We are now on the Broken Bell Network with our sister show, Philly. We have some more programming. We have the Northeast Philly podcast still going. If you guys haven't caught any of that, you can catch it on the current YouTube stream that is linked from Facebook on the Philly podcast, or you can see it on the Broken Bell Network Facebook page. And other things are coming soon, but I just wanted to kind of point it out.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're trying to, expand, Sixers, whoever wants to talk about that. The process is dead. The Flyers, who knows? The Union. Like, out of those 3 teams, the Union will probably be the easiest one to find someone to talk, to get on here and talk for an hour. That'll be the easiest one.
With intelligence.
Who would have? But who would have like
intelligence?
Who would have
be able to speak?
No, I'm just saying. Out of those 3, that's the only one I trust might have intelligence. Because
But who
other
would have
fans
thought
are
that,
saying.
right? If you would have told me 30 years ago soccer would be bigger in Philly than hockey or basketball, I would have said you're smoking it. Like 20 years ago, we're talking like even AI, like there's no way you couldn't beat basketball in this city, and it's just a shame. But that's what happens. Both those teams, it's corporation run, owned, operated. It feels that way, and it resembles that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're making a profit anyway. Okay, so like it doesn't matter if they come home with a trophy or not. It doesn't matter. The fans are still paying. They are still going to pay. They are good.
I wouldn't say Sixers fans. I will say Flyers fans, and it pains me to say this because I am a fan of the Flyers and I'm
Yeah.
a fan of the Sixers, but the Philadelphia Flyers are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. That's all they are. That's all they are.
They were once greats, never to be great again, type deal.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they still sell out 41 games. I mean, they may not sell out, but they still fill that arena. 12,000 to 15,000 fans in a 14,000 stadium arena. So
What-
it's
I
what they
do. I want to say basketball is still. It's still being funded by fans. Now they may not be coming out the game. They're dollar games. I think I saw like they're doing
You can get them
dollar.
cheaper than you can get a beer.
Right. So I mean,
Yeah, the most expensive thing you're paying for at a Sixers game is
the parking.
Yeah.
Parking. But I think my point is not that. So they're not making a profit at the Wells Fargo Center. They're making a profit on merchandise, right? They are.
Well, it's one and the same still, isn't it? Isn't the same corporation that is it because it's still Comcast that owns the
Yes.
Wells
Yeah.
Fargo Center?
Well-
But aren't they owners of the Sixers as well? Or
No. That
Oh.
was. Oh wow.
Josh
Dude,
Harris, who owns the Washington
Wizards.
Commanders.
Commanders. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Commanders. It's yeah. You can't own two basketball teams. I'm sorry.
Instead, he owns the Washington Commanders. He owns the New Jersey Devils, and he owns the Philadelphia Flyers. And I just want to point out, the Flyers are losing by 4, and the Sixers are losing by 14. I love it here. I love it here. Thank God. Thank God for this. Hold on.
thank God it's baseball.
No, hold on. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And we earned that after being, what we've gone through, obviously, with the Phillies and the letdown, and even the Eagles' previous letdown performance season. That's a very well deserved hat, and it was I think if you tuned in to Philly podcast last night, that was it's a team that's going to be talked about for decades.
Yeah. And
They
it
were
was-
one of the greatest teams of the 2020s, and we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
So,
But let's listen, boys. It's baseball
but
season.
it's baseball season.
It's
Yep.
baseball.
Let's this is not the Bryson Stott 30 home run. Oh wait, yes it is.
Hold
This
on.
is-
We'll do that later.
Paranoid Professor, thanks for joining us. He was first. And yes, you always still do that. That's always a thing. Never go. If you're first, you have to tell people you were there first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to. I saw that in the beginning of the show. I want to let them know that yes, you are correct, sir. You were first.
Yep. All right. So, Mr. First, tell us about the 6-man rotation. I don't.
All right. So I think what you're coming to me for is to coach this team, and I'm not, right? I'm here to tell you that as of March 6th, as of today, as of 9:10 Eastern Standard Time, they have the possibility of having a 6-man rotation this season and it being an actually decent one. Now, I'm not saying, when I say loaded, okay, I'm talking about that there's a lot of ifs here, but we're not even in the season. So can we play the land of make believe with me?
I refuse.
I said sell me on it.
Okay.
'cause
So how about this?
as you
How
know,
about
I'm
we?
a traditionalist, so
Yes,
I'm not.
I know.
I'm not 5-man, maybe a 4-man.
Why don't we just
Never
go
a 6.
7-man and we'll have Taiwan Walker in there? Get the guys an extra 2 days off.
I love you, dude. I really do love you. Love you so much. You're
Like,
stupid.
I'm
You're
so
stupid.
Glad, I'm so glad that we're doing these shows remote because I can just imagine the amount of things that would be thrown at me.
Nah, dude.
If I said that in front of your face. Let's do a 7-man. Let me tell you something. If Taiwan Walker sees the pitching mound before me, I'm going to have a huge issue.
I've got 20 million reasons why that is going to happen. He will be seeing it before Andrew Painter. So let's get that Andrew Painter conversation first out of the way before we kind of get into the nitty gritty. By all accounts, Andrew Painter is looking like he will be kind of spring ready in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm believing that we will see him on the mound in a rotational spot by July of this year.
The only way that happens is because of injury.
No, I think he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get some days. I think he's gonna get slotted into. This is where. So this is where you have to believe in the 6-man and doing something finally different, right? What do? Are you gonna roll this back? Is this what you're telling me? You want to roll this back?
You're not rolling it back. You're rolling it back. You're rolling back a different outfielder. You're rolling back a different pitcher. You're not rolling the whole thing back.
I need Wheeler to kind of go like, yeah, man, I like pitching on 5 days. No, I need you to pitch on 6 days.
But they don't do that. Listen, pitchers get into a rhythm when they do certain workouts. You're never going to sell me on a 6-man rotation. You could tell me for all the tea in China and all the tea in Boston, it isn't going to work. Wheeler's your one.
Let's do this. I got it. Wheeler
1.
Yep.
Nola 2.
Nola.
You could flip flop between Sanchez.
I don't want to flip flop. I want your rotation.
But okay, then Christopher Sanchez is your number 3.
Okay, I thought so. I like the commitment.
And then honestly, I don't know what you're gonna get out of Lazaro and Ranger. Lazaro's a really good pitcher, but
hey, how did he look the other day?
Shut up.
Oh. Okay.
So I just for me, it's gonna be, for me, Ranger would be 4 and Lazaro would be 5.
Right.
There's no problem with rolling this team back because, listen, I heard a stat today. I don't know if anybody listened to WIP. The Detroit Tigers, when they played the Red Sox in 2013 in the playoffs, they held them to the lowest batting average in postseason history for a team.
This was in the what?
2013 ALCS.
ALCS. Okay. All right. So 2013 AL. What was so I'm gonna say the lowest batting average
They didn't say what the batting average was. But
I would say if I had to guess, I'd say sub 175.
Lowest batting average in the history of the postseason, and they beat the Tigers 4-2. They had clutch. Yeah, they had clutch hits.
Right. I was just about to say it all comes down to where those hits come up. Right, where they came in the actual moment they were needed.
The two things that failed the Phillies was the bullpen and their clutch hitting.
Agreed. 100%.
Jeff Hoffman was injured. If Jeff Hoffman wasn't injured, they probably win that game 1-0. Remember, they went into the 8th inning up 1-0. And it imploded from there. Matt Strom, I think he was used too much in the beginning of the season. We were loving how much he's coming out. He was going. So who would you, if you could go back and look, who would you have signed in the bullpen? Because there's nothing wrong with the offense. I'm going to give you my hot take on the offense, but there's nothing wrong with the offense in my opinion.
So here's where I'm going to let me throw out a team that I really respected how they ran their pitching last year, or at least how they ran signing them. The Cubs. The Cubs last year were JV. Do you know what they did last year? How you're not working? Great. Have a good one. Next, please.
Right.
Didn't they go
I
through
mean-
like 18 pitchers in like 35 days or something?
But something like that, yeah.
That to me is I understand there is this mentality to work with the players and but I feel like the Phillies can act or at least operate like an organization that is elite, is wants to be the next level, and if you can't be that, that's okay. We appreciate it, but we need someone clutch right now who can click on the cylinders, and we don't need you to kind of catch up to us. I think it's that type of management that I have a problem with, and not so much who gets started where, rotation, situational. I just think it's we hang too long with the wrong guys.
But I don't know. Did it really work?
I don't know. We hung too long with the wrong guys. That's my point. We never. I've the Cubs. I mean, look. We're talking the World Series. That's like damn near like. But did it work for the Cubs throughout the season? Sure, yeah, they manhandled teams throughout the year.
They finished 10 games out of first,
Right?
out
But
of the division. So how did it work?
the
way the Phillies did it, they won.
They had
the
a second.
division.
Right? They were the. So what they did was they started out like Dookie Butt, did their little let's try this pitching, and then they were getting really really hot. Now they did fizzle out at the end. The Cubs absolutely 100 shit the bed at the end.
Oh wait, hold on. I just got an alert. The Pirates have been eliminated from playoff contention. Sorry.
Wow, your phone must be running slow. We were eliminated 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Well,
So JV, I 100% agree with you. Like, but you have to understand, with the Cubs did not start with this plan, and they shifted gears into it. And yeah, sure, they shit the bed at the end. I got no answer for you there. But I think I like the aggressiveness of that idea. And if you treat yourself like this is the team that is going to be a World Series team, you have to act like people need to earn their spot quickly.
so if you were the Phillies, what would you have done to make your team better?
Well, now we're talking about last year and looking better at the trade deadline. I think we made
No,
zero.
I'm talking about this year. What
Right,
would
right.
you have done?
Well, what would I have done this year?
Both of you. Like,
I know.
Into the season.
yeah, coming into the season.
I see. That's the thing. Like looking at what they did,
Yeah.
I don't hate what they did. Like they needed to address the bullpen. That fifth starter
How?
with Luzardo.
How? That's the how. That's the how.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like
And my suggestion was
There
being
wasn't a
more
lot out there.
aggressive. My was being more aggressive on, like I said, you got to be clicking with the team and being an asset. Like, we're already hurting. We can't have you come on and not clicking either.
I didn't think there was a lot of great bullpens out there as like individuals. They're just the numbers just outside of like a handful of guys that you weren't going to get, that weren't free agents coming into this year, or you were going to have to sell your farm to get. There wasn't a lot of choices. Yeah, it was just the way it was.
There were a few starters. You're right. I'm thinking back to the trade deadline last year. I feel like it was a more of a starter market. I think the three of us were always at a crossroads on this during last season. We were always talking about, do you play situational or do you play how do you play this, right? And I think if the bullpen didn't work and he was playing situational last year, don't you move away from situational and just go to your inning? Is this your inning, and this is how it's going to, where the chips fall, the chips fall? Is that another way to handle it? I know you don't love that. I know.
No. They went out. They got a closer, Estevez. He got rocked. He didn't get rocked in L.A., but he got rocked. They went out. They got a left fielder. Unfortunately, he ended up having a kidney infection, so that screwed the platoon idea for the Phillies. So. I think the Phillies did a lot this last year to make the run that they did.
They tried.
things didn't fall in place, and you want people to listen. I would have loved Alex Bregman. I would have loved it, but it just wasn't in the cards, as they say.
Do you think Breggy would have been? I still think we would have fallen short with pitching, even with with
There
Breggy.
wasn't that much out there.
I know, but
what are you going to get? So, like, everybody's all on, they didn't go and sign Soto. They weren't going to go after Soto.
I wasn't worried about. Yeah, no.
That was a pipe dream. The Bregman thing, okay, you're going to have to give probably a decent amount out of your system.
You wouldn't have Andrew Painter after you got Bregman, correct?
Right. So now you're hurting your future.
Are you talking about the trade deadline?
Yes.
And did they really? Was Alec Bohm really that horrendous? Especially at the trade deadline.
No. So
you know what I mean?
No, I'm willing to tell you all.
I like Kepler. I like the move for Kepler. You didn't sign him expecting him to be there forever. He's a stopgap until Crawford is ready to come up. And they seem to still be in love with frickin' Rojas, which
I mean, he's hitting. I think he's hitting a 305 down in spring.
Right. And then
he did that
baseball starts and then he stops hitting.
I know.
But so now
it's the same thing. Walker's got stuff right now. Like, yes.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He's got stuff, and it hit a car on I-95 in Florida.
Yep. the game the other day was 17 to a billion to 3. What are we talking? It's spring training. I'm just. What are you okay? Fine, guys. They're 4-7-1 in spring training. What do we? Right.
No, hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on.
They're 4-7-1. Yes, but we've seen this before with Taijuan Walker.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, like Taijuan right now is considered to be in the bullpen, which is probably about the best you're going to get from him at this point.
In long relief, right? Yeah.
Well, it's just bullpen. It doesn't really have it listed as long or short relief.
He's probably going to be long as an inning. Yeah.
He's going to be a more than an inning guy.
Yeah.
But he needs to focus on that. That could be the resurrection to his career. If he can figure out how to get his stuff good for 1 to 2 innings and be able to come in, get out, that'll be the resurrection for him.
I got something that's going to annoy both of you. I think the new strike zone is going to actually improve Taijuan Walker's accuracy. I think he is a guy who attacks batters positionally, and now that they have an official kind of zoned up strike zone, I think that is really advantageous to someone like him who likes to try to pull away and steal strikes a lot. And he got himself in a lot of trouble by trying to steal too many strikes he wasn't getting.
Right. He was missing the strike zone. He wasn't missing bats. That's the problem.
And I think this new zone is more tailored to the aggressiveness that he is as a pitcher.
It doesn't matter where the strike zone is. If guys can see your stuff coming and hit it, then they're going to hit it.
I watched a video where they were kind of breaking down him in a game where he was he was telling everything on his telling it's just I think it was where he was holding his pitching hand inside with the pinky down and out, and they read it all. That's when they lit him up when he went to relief last year. So I'm not trying to convince you guys that a 6-man rotation is good. I'm telling you, prepare yourselves to possibly see this in this season.
They're not doing a 6-man rotation.
They're not going to do it.
Okay. You're out of your mind.
Right.
The only time you're going to see Andrew Painter up is 1, if he's tearing it up in the minor leagues, and 2, there's a doubleheader. Other than that, you've lost your mind again.
Or we see they try to put more innings on the Ranger like last year, and he goes down.
What
you wanted to see that shit Just
I
so
did.
you know.
No, I own it. I know I did, and I'm willing to admit that I was wrong. He
He-
can't
he-
handle that.
He cracked
They
at
need to
100.
yeah,
Yeah, he
they
cracked
need
at
to manage
100.
him right where he was, right back to
Yeah,
the number he was the year before. And hey, know your strengths and your weaknesses. But you wouldn't have known that if you didn't try it.
Listen. Realistically, the demise of the Phillies was Bryson Stott was injured, Alec Bohm was injured, and Ranger Suarez was injured.
Trey Turner was injured.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Not like
You
those
missed
two were.
time here and there.
Yeah, he missed.
It wasn't
He missed.
extended.
He missed like 3 weeks at one point.
Yes, but Bryson Stott and Alec Bohm barely missed time, and they forgot how to hit a baseball at the end
Stop
of the
yelling! Stop yelling at me! I just said he was injured at one point. Like, what are we
Shut
doing
up.
here?
year. Shut up.
Actually, it might have been like 5 weeks. But JT's injury was, I feel like, another one that highlights game management and how it's missed when he is not there. But he is the most played catcher in baseball. That is a statistic that is very true. He will see the most pitches this year as well if he stays healthy. I have no doubt in my mind. I think he wants to go out like that. Do you guys? Here's my question for you. Do you guys re-sign Harper before or after the trade deadline? Or extend Harper before or after the trade deadline?
Doesn't make sense. You do it whenever. The trade deadline has nothing to do with it.
If you're gonna do it, get it done before the season. That way, it's. But even still, like if he's willing to discuss it during the season, then whatever.
go.
Like you have him under contract, and you're not going to make any huge moves this year because that salary is not going to change this season. So even if you re-sign him and save some money, it's going to be for next year at best. So
And what do you extend? When do you extend him to?
I don't
15
know what you
million?
got. I mean, he hasn't. He hasn't brought a championship to the city, so I don't know. If anything, you're just extending the years and go extra laden on incentives.
Fuzz, how do you work a Harper deal?
I mean, you extend him to what he wants. You sit there and say he hasn't brought a championship, yet we got front office morons across the street extending no need Embiid. So you know the guy's an MVP player. You know he wants to win. You know I think this is the year the Phillies are they're gonna be the team that doesn't fizzle out. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people.
I mean, if you're gonna extend him, I think you got to talk to him. It's got to make sense that it's not hurting the team, and he seems like the kind of guy that'll be like that. You know, maybe some deferred money in there, do an Ohtani, that kind of a thing, so that they can go and get some of these names and not have to worry about it. So,
Otani's getting $2 million this year.
yeah, and it's smart from a business point. The Dodgers are geniuses. The Dodgers owners are genius with doing this because they got all this money. They're gonna reap all of these profits from having those guys there, being competitive. The people will come out to that stadium if it's a winning team. That's one thing about Hollywood. They're front runners.
I'll
They
tell
will
you
go
what,
out to
dude.
the
That
stadium.
market prints its own money, regardless
Right.
of a winning team. But they know how to keep
No,
it
when-
a
Yeah, but
marketable
how-
team.
In the
How-
mid '90s, when they weren't competitive, they weren't selling out the stadium.
But hold on.
So
how are
why
they-
I'm saying they're a genius is you're going to
That's
get all
not
the profits,
90 baseball
and
was
then you
dead in
sell-
the 90s. Don't do that.
But
but
hold
you
on.
sell the team later, and now the next owners are lumped in with all this money,
But how
all these
how
contracts that they got to keep paying.
How are they printing their own money? I thought it all burned up in the wildfires.
Oh.
Oh,
Is that too soon?
it's Dodger blue. It doesn't. The blue things didn't. The energy weapons don't hurt the blue things. Don't. or something like that. I forget. I don't know the conspiracy theory well enough, but
Oh Jesus, you got to be ready for my quips. 'Cause
Talk to me about your preferred batting order, because that seems to be getting a lot of oxygen, isn't it?
yeah, too much. Everybody talking about dropping Schwarbs down in the lineup and get him some more RBIs and more runs. Just stop. Like, look at where these guys are successful. Where are they putting up numbers and keep them there? Like, that's like, I don't need my leadoff guy to steal 40 bases in a year, 50 bases in or whatever the league average is now. I need guys to be productive, and wherever you're productive is where you should be.
What do you have? 16 leadoff home runs last year?
Something like that. He was third in the league with 38 overall. Like,
Okay. I'm just
I'll
asking.
take it.
I'm asking about.
Productive.
I'm not. That was not. I'm just asking. I'm no. Just asking questions, guys. Fuzz, are you like this guy who's like, if it works, leave it there? Why are you playing with it? Or do you think that Stott's got to be at first, Harp's got to be at third, you wrap it around with Trey somewhere, JT behind him? Like, where are you at with this?
I'm not batting Stott at leadoff.
Okay.
You know, if you're gonna do that, it's got to be Trey Turner at 1, and then it's got to be Bryce at 2. If you're really gonna make this move, that's where it's got to be, and then Kyle Schwarber is 3. That's where it is.
Here's what I hear: Harp wants 3,
And I want a World Series. I don't give a fuck what Bryce Harper wants. If Rob Thompson says the best thing for the team is for you to bat 2, Bryce, you're batting 2.
Well, so Kyle's playing the smart game, right? Kyle's absolutely going, you play me wherever I'm in the lineup is where I'm playing, right? He has said that he's gone on the record. That is the way to politically say it. Harp, who has gone on record saying, I would like to bat third. Like,
and there's something to that. Some guys are just more comfortable. I know when I played, bar league softball and back in high school, I preferred personally to hit around the 6, 7, 8 spots. It was just more comfortable. I didn't feel the stress of it. Maybe Harper likes having that stress of that 3 spot on him and feel like he's actually carrying the team. And if he's productive, put him there. If the guys in front of him can get on base and he can drive them in, which is what it's all about. Ask Billy Beane, God rest his soul. Ask him, how do you win baseball games? You score runs. I don't care where they come from, how you get them, you score the runs. And if that's if it takes Harper being at the 3 spot, hitting doubles and home runs and knocking the guys in front of him in, then that's what we do. If it takes Schwarber leading off with a home run, and then Harper hitting a solo home run, okay, it took me 2 hits to get 2 runs. I'm okay with it.
Chris has got his disappointed father look on his face. I would like for you to elaborate.
What was the Billy Beane comment?
How do you win baseball games? You score runs.
And what did you say after that?
R.I.P.
He's
Yeah.
not dead.
Billy Beane?
Billy Beane. It's a different Billy Beane.
Yeah. Thought the Major League Baseball one died.
I think there's 2 of them, but it's not the one who died. It's kind of like I was like.
So to further,
yes, he gets on base, as Jonah Hill says.
To further this, right? Harp wants third, but he said, "Hey man, you want to put me in the outfield because you want to make a move? I'm willing to do that." He's gone on record to saying. Now, I think he is directly implying he would like Arenado. I think that is a 100%. I will move.
What are you doing with Alec Bohm?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I will take my ass to the outfield if you want Arenado. That's what he's saying. I'm opening up first base, is what he said.
And then who's playing first base?
Going to open it up for bringing in what's his face, Pete Alonso, because Pete Alonso can give you 30 to 40 home runs.
Or Alonso. I think he is saying whatever you're willing to do in the infield, I am willing to go back to the outfield. I'm serious about that. So, like, you know, I what do you say to that? Harp wants third, but he's like, I'll go to the outfield, dude. I'll do that. Do you think that's noble, or do you think that's
I don't listen. I don't care. The guy wants to win. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I really think not having Reese affected that clubhouse.
okay? I'm listening.
I'm just saying, like his leadership. I know, he's good friends with everybody, but unfortunately, like there weren't enough major disasters in 2024 for Nick Castellanos to carry this team. So I just think like Reese Hoskins doesn't need it, and I think he would have been a really good. I, I don't know where you could have put him.
Right.
be
You don't.
honest.
What do you? Where are you putting 237 in the lineup?
Oh, well, you're putting 198 in center field.
I'm with you. I am in agreement. I am not. I'm not excusing that either. You want Rojo out? I get it. I do. And I think there are certainly.
It's not that I want Rojas. Hell, I want the guy to friggin' succeed, but I'm tired of the defense being the main point of argument. It can't be that. This isn't the 80s and the 90s no more, where it was okay to have the ninth batter bat 073 because it was Greg Maddux, because it was, you know, Steve Avery, because it was Kurt Schilling. It's no, it's got it's got to be that, because it was frustrating in 2023 because you knew he was an automatic out, and then you thought, oh, maybe he would have turned it around, and he didn't. I can't. I'm sorry,
Wait a minute.
but
Are we talking about Rojas or are we talking about Kingery?
no arm Kingery. Where's he at? Is he in Anaheim? I think he got traded for a Mike Trout signed helmet. I think it was.
No, I think he got signed for a package of Aramark hot dog rolls.
Hopefully, well, they don't.
But
use
they
them on
blew
Dollar-
up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, but they don't use them on Dollar Dog Night. So, oh wait, rest in peace, Dollar Dog Night. Dollar Dog Night died before Billy Bean.
All right.
I just I think I don't know. When does the Johan Rojas experiment end?
It should have ended last year.
I'm on the new Uncle Rico experiment.
Yeah, who is this you're talking about? Maybe
Gabriel Racones Jr. He's just getting a lot of heat from some of the bigger guys. Schwarbs nicknamed him at BP Uncle Rico because he said he hits him like over the mountains like Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite.
I did see. Is that who he was talking about? I did see that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Now the Sixers are only losing by 20. Oh my God! I'm gonna drink. It's gonna be a long summer.
I'm interested in this. He's a non-roster invitee because he was drafted like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So obviously he's a non-roster at this point. I think he's just getting in his kind of like seeing how he fits with the team. They seem to really like him. They like the kid. He's got a nice little swagger. He had a couple of I think he had like 3 home runs in spring training already. Just looking fun, looking like he's having fun out there. He is not ready for prime time. I am not saying that, but I like seeing how these like guys like Kyle, these veterans are taking to these younger guys who are having fun out there.
There's not even a player information about him.
No.
Right. Saying that he's a non-roster, I mean, he's probably a minor leaguer.
He is.
He's a number 10 prospect, so
yeah, he's number 10 prospect. I think he was drafted in 23,
22.
22. Okay.
They don't even have like anything on him.
Nope. No, but he's been lighting it up down in Baycare. Like he has gotten the attention of quite a few, like I said, of the vets on the team, and I think he's worth keeping an eye on. Like I said, here's where I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what Painter
If you
can
bring
do.
up Ronaldo Torres, I'm driving over your house and slapping you in the face.
No, I'm excited for Painter. I'm excited for seeing Crawford. I'm excited to see how these guys integrate. It's been a while since we had a daycare unit, and I think we can kind of, um, yeah, you can slap me now. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Buddy Kennedy is up to this season, right? Like, I expect these guys who are getting $300 million a year to have good seasons. I also like seeing the guy who is developing and coming up, making a name for themselves. I've been disappointed by too many Don Browns, Kingeries, right? Like,
I am looking forward to Crawford.
Yeah, I'm hearing amazing things, right? So these are the things that I am looking forward to because I expect our number one and our number two to be throwing like a number one and a number two. I'm expecting Trey Turner to light it up for $330 million. That being said, I do owe the man a formal apology.
Who?
Trey Turner.
Oh.
Ah, yes. Give up on this outfield thing.
So I think I'm giving up on it because the more people are shifting to this outfield talk when I was talking about it well over a year ago, or maybe just about a year ago. I said, you know what? I think I'm talking from ignorance. And I was. If you go by position.
Oh my God. Things I thought I would never hear you say. Because you were so sold. You were so sold
I know.
on Trey Turner.
Well,
and then you were so sold on moving Bryson Stott back to second, moving Bryson Stott to shortstop when Bryson Stott played shortstop so well that it made him into a finalist for Gold Glove finalist of the year at second base. That's how good he played shortstop.
Yeah, he quit. Yeah, he played it so well he quit it forever and became better at what he was doing before. Please don't ever put me in there. So one of the.
But hold on, real quick. The problem is we were spoiled.
Correct.
We had Jimmy Rollins. We were spoiled. That's and we expect what Jimmy did. We expected it from everybody, and that's just not who Trey Turner is. We were spoiled. We're like, you need to make that play.
Right, Jimmy. Let's. I think we were spoiled by Jimmy. In more ways than one. He was the total package. He was the bat. He was the field. He was the player, right? He walked like a baseball player, talked like a baseball player.
They have him in camp right now, so maybe that can rub off.
You know who Jimmy Rollins is? C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's what that is. He had the swag, and he had people followed him. That's exactly what it is. And that's why everyone loved Jimmy up until he retired. Even though he talked that ish, didn't run balls out, people still loved him. So,
right, and so to continue your point, and thank you because it really emphasizes mine. We were spoiled by position, but looking at position at shortstop, my man Trey Turner is a machine.
Yeah,
is he perfect? No, God no, but. If you look at shortstop, it is the most error-prone position. Right?
Pretty sure Fuzzy said that last year.
I agree. I agreed with that. I never said that shortstop was not the most error-prone position. But now, looking at it over the last 10 years, the fall for production in shortstops has gone from 89% fielding to 67% fielding accuracy.
Now, part of that is because they've changed the ruling on what's an error and what's not.
Correct.
And who gets the error, especially on some of these throwing errors.
And what's a hit?
That used to go to a first baseman for not scooping it is now on to the shortstop for a bad throw.
Right.
I don't even know what an error is anymore. I don't know what a hit is anymore. It used to be I didn't know what a strike was anymore. First it was I didn't know what an NFL catch was. Then I didn't know what a strike was, and it was in the box. And now I don't know what a hit/error is. Like they're just like the things that I grew up on that I knew, they're just taking it all away from me. It's not the dementia.
God, we're getting old.
And so let's just go ahead and throw 10% to that. 10% over to, the rule shifting and changing, and that's just an arbitrary number, I guess. But Trey Turner is fielding at 78%. He is still 2%. Even if we front him 10% because of scoring weirdness, he is still 2% over best in position. I don't.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Nothing more. That's
No.
exactly what I want.
Right. So, deepest apologies for maybe even starting that kind of notion a year ago. It may have started where I maybe someone heard it on our podcast and said, "Let me call into a radio," and it took off. I don't know. I like to think so. I'd never heard anyone else say move Trey Turner to center field before that. Now it's all you hear on talk radio. Get Trey out of there. Shut up.
Right. I think it came out of a combination of they see the errors happen, even though he's better than league average, league number,
Yes.
and the league best. But people see that and they see how bad the outfield is at times, especially Rojas especially when they had Schwarber out there, and these guys, they're like, oh, well, he can't be any worse than Schwarber, so you might as well put him out there. But you got to look at where do you gain? What was the gain to that?
Can't
Because
be
you
any
didn't have another
worse.
shortstop ready. You don't have another second baseman. Even if you move Stott over, who's coming in to play second base? Buddy Kennedy is not ready to be a major leaguer. What second baseman did they have? Edmundo Sosa?
Sosa
Oh,
was
God.
your only.
Stop.
Sosa is your
He's not
only.
an MLB starter unless he's in Oakland or Pittsburgh. Like those are the only places that dude starts.
Hold on.
Marlins.
Las Vegas. Aren't they in Las Vegas this year?
Well, now they're in Sacramento, I think,
Oh, Sacramento.
because it's the minor league. Where they'll actually have a chance to sell out the stadium in the minor
They're
leagues.
They're moving to Las Vegas, right?
Yes. When is that going to be open?
I
Next
think it's
season?
Next season, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think this stop in Sacramento was supposed to be a 1-year thing.
So, for everyone, Keith is a huge Phillies fan. He's a baseball guy first. He likes his team. He's an Eagles guy, but he's not. He likes to see them succeed, but he's Phillies first. His Edmundo Sosa is the Eagles' Nick Foles. Loves to back up players. Loves them.
So
That's why earlier I brought up
Ronnie Toes.
Ronnie Toes. I was like, nah.
Ronaldo Torres. Let me defend myself here. I think I said it already. We expect the guys with $300 million, $150 million, $20 million a year contracts to play that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's when those guys who aren't,
And they come in and they make good defensive plays and they get hits and they contribute to the win for 3 or 4 games, and then everyone's like, oh my God, he's so better than Trey Turner, and I'm like, oh.
Listen,
I love
tell
seeing
you.
clutch. That's what it is.
let me tell you, as a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, the bigger heartbreak are these flash in the pan guys who contribute and do these great things for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they're amazing. And then they come back to reality. I've spent 40 plus years watching that, with really Andrew McCutchen being the only guy since the mid 90s that
Did he
is
retire?
actually good. Not yet. He signed another 1 year with the Pirates this year.
Yeah,
So when
it's
do
just
you
1
think?
year.
So when do you think Paul Skeen is a Philly?
I don't think he's going to be with the Phillies. I think he's going to be a Yankee.
Yankee.
Oh,
I was just
shut
yep, New York. I was just about to say he's a
His mentality is there. The Yankees overpay for pitching.
I was
so-
about to say the dollars are there. Let's.
Well, that's the thing. The Pirates will get rid of him long before the contract is even close, when he's still high value. So probably in the next 2 years. If the Pirates don't find some way to start winning by 27, Skeens is gone that year. But the thing is, they don't. Like the Phillies are trying with their minor league system, and they're putting money into it and putting effort into it. The Pirates do not.
I had a guy said Skeens would be in an Astros uniform by the trade deadline.
He's making $800,000 this year. He's not going
Right.
to trade it.
I said, do you know he's on a contract that literally cost them nothing? Why would they give him up?
Right.
And
that's like 3 nights of Permane Brothers.
I said that. I said he is on. If Pittsburgh lets him go before they even get close to arbitration, they are by far the dumbest franchise I have ever seen in my life.
I will give you that prior statement, even without take Paul Skeens out of it. You are still correct. They're the dumbest franchise, and I'm a Pirates fan.
Yeah.
As long as this ownership is in there, it's terrible.
Jeremy, this is what it's like to be a Sixers fan.
The
When you look-
MLB
when
seriously,
when you look at, I don't know how they haven't forced them to sell. I really don't.
right. When you like the MLB has to take a step
They're
back.
still making
And
billions.
do we want another Montreal's Expos situation where the league is going to have to step in? And it's not just the Pirates. I think unless something miraculous happens in Vegas, the Athletics are going to be there.
Can we get the titles back?
Right. Some of these guys are just some of these like you want.
They
these teams to
haven't
be
stepped in.
competitive.
If they haven't stepped in for the Marlins, Jar,
Right.
they're not stepping in for Pittsburgh. There's no way. Marlins
Pittsburgh
lose
has
half a billion dollars for the
Right.
league a year.
That's what I'm saying. Like they need to. You don't want another Montreal Expos situation where the league has to step in. But you got to find another.
No, you
rule.
turn money. You guys still turn money.
Right. They make $8 million a year.
Yes.
Yeah,
You don't cost the league. You don't cost any other team money. That's
Outside of profit sharing. You're right.
yeah.
Like that's the thing, and like Jeter really screwed the Marlins. He was a terrible GM. Like he really screwed the Marlins. But what's funny is like while we sit there and say he screwed the Marlins, Yankee fans hate him because they made the trade with the Yankees for the Yankees to get Giancarlo Stanton, and then in turn that forced the Yankees. They weren't able to go after.
Is that
Manny
Michael
Mach-
Stan's brother?
Yes.
Oh.
They weren't able to go after Manny Machado and Bryce Harper in 2019. So like if you go on social media and you read the Brian Cashman and the Yankees organization about that trade, they hate it because and listen, they would have had a legitimate shot at any two of those players. They had a lot of money under contract in that year, which is crazy when you think about the Yankees always just spending money, and they couldn't afford to give out a contract of 6 or more years, which is bananas because it's the Yankees, but they couldn't do it. Brian Cashman's like, yeah, you know what? We're good with first base. We don't need Bryce Harper to play first.
I thought that was a Steinbrenner thing.
No, that was Cashman.
I thought that ultimately came to Brian. I thought Brian came.
Didn't George pass away before the Harper Machado thing came out?
Yeah, Steinbrenner passed
Before-
away in 2010.
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
So-
No, he's been with us for 15 years. I thought it was the year before he
George
died.
Steinbrenner died in 2010.
Right, and that's right. It's Harper's in his 14th year now.
No, Harper is in his 6th year.
No, 14th year
That's
in
14th and yeah,
baseball, jackass.
No, is it? Well, how long was he?
yeah. He's been in with between
Oh,
the
he
two
came.
teams.
He came up.
He's been like 14 years.
Oh yeah, I guess so. He came up 7-7 or 13 maybe.
Okay, all right, you're right. So,
But that has nothing to do with George Steinbrenner.
no.
The younger Steinbrenner that took over in Cashman have not run the team the same way that George did, where it was just throw monies and win chips. That's all he cared about.
Well,
These guys are not doing that now, and they're trying to be a little more fiscal responsible.
yeah,
And but
they're sitting on the laurels of the market share. Okay,
They have their own network.
they are sitting on the laurels of their market share.
Like George Steinbrenner, for as much of his ass as he was a genius.
Well, he just spent money.
And notice, they
But
won
he
in
made-
2009. He died in 2010, and they haven't won since.
And he put money into the farm system too. As much as you hate it, those core guys that came up, the Posadas, the Pettins, the Jeters, those guys, like there was what 5 or 6 total that just came up through the system and stayed there, and then they brought in the Paul O'Neills and the Tino Martinez's and the Giambis and the guys like that to go and try to, and the Clemenses trying to win these games, but they put the money and developed into their core and drafted properly, and kept, and Soriano coming up for a while, like all these guys, they, as much as I hate to say that they spent money to win the championships, they spent money on their homegrown talent too. They didn't always wait for these guys to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, listen,
yeah,
Posada,
you got your Petit.
Posada, Manor Rivera, Bernie Williams, Jeter. They were, they got into the point where they were good, but they didn't have, like, as crazy as I'm about to say this. Like Scott Brocious was a key player in their championship runs. Tino Martinez was a key player. You brought up Paul O'Neill. Paul O'Neill was a key player. Christ, even David Justice towards the end of his career was a key player. It was when those guys started retiring that they were like, all right, we're gonna throw money out to the steroid Giambi, the good stuff, the one that's on the steroids. We're gonna throw out money and we're gonna trade for Alex Rodriguez. It was, we're gonna sign Mark Teixeira. Like that is what they did.
I mean, hold on, Andy Petit. You still have.
But they were more successful with their homegrown talent.
Oh, okay. So I'm agreeing with you. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were more successful with their homegrown talent.
Right. You have your dynasty run with him, with all your homegrown.
I think people forget how good Andy Pettit was.
Petite,
whatever. Well,
Petite.
whatever it was, he was on steroids.
It's Pettit. It's Pettit.
Obviously,
That's
Manny
why I
Rivera
call.
Was
he's
so
on
good.
steroids. He's petite now.
He's petite. I get it.
Remember when he came back like 1 year later and he was like, totally not steroids. Oh, that's totally steroids, dude. That is, your head size grew 4 sizes. You went from a size 6 3/8 to 9 1/2.
He went from a size Keith to a size Fuzzy. Yeah, and then he blamed God. God made me take steroids so that I could get back healthier.
No, but Pettit is the guy, but you're correct, right? Pettit is exactly what Steinbrenner did. He is exactly the type of player that they farmed. There's no farm in New York anymore.
No. They're not putting the money into it.
Wow.
It's not about just, and you gotta get the right scouts, the right development people in place to bring these guys along, and it's just, I think you're losing it across the board in baseball, that they're not putting the money into it, and these guys are getting hurt, and they're just throwing them to the wayside. I know there's a local pitcher that got drafted by the Pirates, came in hurt. They didn't even bother, like, really trying to rehab him. They already traded him. They drafted him in July, and you're just getting rid of him already in a trade. Like,
that's wild.
But then I heard him talking, and the team that he went to, they're actually putting effort into him. So I'm like, oh, this team, like, I'm gonna keep my eye on them over the next few years, watching what they do with their minor league system.
Hoping that the Pirates will emulate that.
No.
Oh,
well, I'm just more curiosity than hoping.
Oh, what could have, should have been. All right.
No, just seeing, like, is this kid a anomaly for them that they're putting a lot of effort into rehabbing him and getting him ready, or is it a across the board with their minor league system where they're trying to build and grow from the inside? And right now, it's looking like they're doing that, but they're also trying to keep that money coming in and spend some money up at the big club to bring in some of the big names. But, like, they see these guys are going to retire eventually, so let's put the same amount of money into the minors to help these kids get better and stronger so we don't miss a beat.
Right.
For that sustainability. And by no means do I think the Pirates are going to do that.
So it's kind of like Dallas is, in their situation where Dallas obviously way easier sit on their own laurels, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
You're
But
America's
it's
team. You can sit on that.
right. But I think it's that same mindset of what did Johnson say? Selectively aggressive.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to hear from your owner, that you're being selectively aggressive when you haven't really made an impact in your division? I mean, sure, I get it, you won your division, but that if you were claiming that year, a can of tuna fish could have won if you let it sit out long enough. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine being the free agent that gets the call from the Cowboys or any team that says they're being selectively aggressive? You're like, wow, I got selected. Yeah,
Aggressively.
I'm supposed to. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to come to you just because you selected me. Like,
Right. And so I think that kind of like that's your frustration, but you're still the Pirates. Like, what are we talking about? You can't even pretend to have that type of but I don't even know if they try to hide by that. I think they try to put a best foot forward and they go, well, it just didn't work out. We'll see you guys next season. We know you'll be here.
right. And I don't think it's a put a best foot forward. It's hey, we're the Pirates. We've been here forever. The city of Pittsburgh is very loyal to its teams, and they're going to come out and they're going to bank on the teams like the Phillies coming and bringing the big names, the Angels coming and bringing Trout, the Dodgers when they come into town. Like those are going to be their Black Friday moments where they just bank on the money on these big names coming into their stadium instead of getting those big names in the stadium 82 games a year.
It's a gorgeous stadium, dude.
It is.
I know. I love it.
Road trip.
But anyway, we talk about the Phillies.
Yeah. I actually that's
pretty much it.
did we hit everything? Let's go. Hold on. Let's go through Painter.
We talked about your six man.
Yeah, batting order,
The
rotation.
joke of
That's
that.
yep.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico. We got some Harper action in there. He's got a record. And maybe we just ended with this. What do you guys think about the Tokyo thing, where Cubs Dodgers are going to be playing each other for 2 days in the middle of spring break, and then going back? Leaving spring break, going back to Arizona.
I think it's just weird the way they're doing it. Like if you're gonna do it, kick it off, be the kickoff to the season, and then you can give them an extra day or two of rest to come back. But they should come back to playing meaningful games, not coming back to spring training games.
They have a day of travel before, a day of travel after. They're playing at 6 o'clock in the morning there.
I am just
6 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning our time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we bet on it?
Well, go ahead. Give me what you're asking.
Probably.
Can we bet on it?
On the.
I mean, it's America. You can bet on anything.
Yeah. Well, do you want to?
I'll give you the lines for my 10U game later.
I'm giving you a one. So I'm going to give you my preseason wild prediction. I want to do that and
Yeah, let's
okay.
do that.
Let's close off with that.
Oh God, I don't know if I should go or not. I don't know.
I got
wild prediction, huh?
I got one.
Bryce Harper's favorite movie is Jingle All the Way.
Confirmed.
And his favorite cartoon was Bob the Builder.
We'll have to ask him. Get him on the show.
All right, Fuzz.
I'm actually trying to get Ben Verlander.
We're good with the siblings.
Dude, he's got Flippin' Bats. I don't know if you ever listen to Flippin' Bats. I'm not a podcast guy as I sit here and do podcasts, but I do listen to his stuff, and it's not that bad.
Whose?
Ben Verlander, Flippin' Bats.
Yeah, Flip it. Yeah, wait, wasn't he on John Boy Network for a minute?
He might have been.
Yeah, maybe. All right. JV, do you have one? Or Fuzzy, do you have one locked and loaded?
I have one, but I want to see what JV's is.
Okay.
I'm not going to go that crazy. I'm going to say that Aaron Nola.
Oh, shit. Aaron.
Over 17 wins.
If he has over 17 wins, they're the number one seed. Plain and simple. Right.
But that's what I'll go with. I'll go with it 17 plus.
Okay.
Keith.
I have over 102 wins this season.
Holy shit.
Yup.
With 17 wins, and what I'm about to say is we're all on the right page.
Okay.
33 home runs and over 115 RBIs for Alec Boehm.
115
Yep.
plus 115 plus 33.
Yep.
Holy for a.
Don't you dare look at me like that, JV. You gave us a Bryson Stott 30 home run season.
Yeah,
It's not the home runs that I'm actually. It's the RBIs, dude.
Dude, he was racking them up before he got hurt last year.
I know. I'm worried about that. That's sustainability. Fuck it, dude. I just had 102 wins. What are we talking about?
Well,
what
listen, and it's funny because the way it went, if Aaron Nola has over 17 wins, if Alec Boehm has 33 home runs and 115 RBIs, that could very well lead to 102 wins.
God, that means we're on the same page.
That
We're all drinking the same
115. That is like. I can believe almost everything else here. I can believe the 33 home runs. I easily. I can actually believe the Nola win thing, right? I can.
So let me see if I get this straight. We're going to end the show on this. So you can see Aaron Nola winning 17 games or more. You can see the Phillies winning 102 games. But you can't see Alec Boehm driving in 115 runs or more, barring injury.
I think
it's a yes or no answer.
Sustainability. Sustainability. You're saying injury. I'm talking about it's the sustainability for me.
Dude, he had like 84 RBIs at the All-Star break and then forgot how to drive in runs.
Yeah. I just said what I said. Sustainability, motherfucker.
I also think they got to protect the Alec Boehm.
Thank you. If you do that, you protect Boehm, and I believe you.
We need disasters.
Come on, Nick. Come on, 3-button Nikki.
Did they bank them? Did these airplane things count? Was there a bank for them?
The fun. Not that it's funny, but it was like like imagine if airplanes keep falling out of the sky in 2025 and somebody commented and said that's why they took the Nick Castellanos MVP odds off of FanDuel.
Trying to get me fired, dude. If someone sees this, you're trying look. The meme last year was hysterical. That every time there's a disaster or death,
did anybody happen to die today? Because he hit a home run in spring training.
Someone did actually die today. It was
the Hop's ex-wife.
Yeah, Hop's ex-wife died. So look, as morbid as it is, life goes on, right? Hit them home runs, bro. JV, you want to take us out in a fancy, sexy way? Like, what do you want to do here?
All right, I got a little outro. Thank you guys for joining us today. We had a lot of fun. Hope you had some fun too.
We're sponsored by. Oh wait, no, we're not.
No, we're not sponsored by anybody. But don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all those good things of our show, of our network. Join us in 2 weeks? We're saying 2 weeks.
You're not on next week.
No, I got to do mayor stuff next week. So join us in 2 weeks. Thanks again for watching the Hall of Fame Club podcast, powered by the Broken Bell Network.
Have a great one.